Gennady, back to you. Well, in our leaflet, in this leaflet, for example, we have published the following information. We explain that the nuclear electricity is not as cheap as many people think. It's cheap because we've built our nuclear power plants in the past, and now we've just milked them as cows. But if we build new ones with very, very strong protection mechanisms, this is going to be very expensive, and electricity is going to be much more expensive than the renewable energy, which leaves no nuclear waste. It doesn't possess any danger to the people. We explain here that because there was a campaign against the renewable energy in Bulgaria, where politicians and business people from nuclear and coal industry were explaining this is very expensive. We explain to the people that a very small amount of their energy bill actually comes because of the renewables, and most of the what's being surcharged about the electricity actually comes from distribution, grid costs, and the new coal plants that Bulgaria built. We explained that there are huge energy losses on the grid, because Bulgaria loses like almost half of the electricity that has been produced, and you never be much better if you have big centralized power plants. If you have small power plants where you actually consume the electricity, this is much better to people, and you lose much less. We remind here that Belene, the new nuclear power plant that Bulgaria was planning to build, and now it's not very sure, especially with the referendum. We say here, the people from nuclear industry say it's not earthquake area, it's not seismic, but this is not true, because just like 30 years ago, in 1997, there was a very, very strong earthquake in Romania, in Vrancea, a place called Vrancea, and then this earthquake caused almost more than 120 people to die in buildings that collapsed just 10 kilometers away from Belene. So it's a very big lie that they say it's not seismic area. It's in our recent time that we've had this. It's not even like centuries ago or something. And then we have then we explain about the nuclear catastrophes. We say here the catastrophe in Mayak, Russia. You know, it has not been a nuclear power plant, but it has been a nuclear waste storage that exploded in 1959. It was the biggest catastrophe before Chernobyl. This area is still contaminated, you know, so many decades after, like poisoned rivers, people that cannot live there. It's a lot of radioactivity. There are very, very strong levels of radioactivity. Then we have 3 Mile Island in the United States, which doesn't cause the leak of radioactivity so much, but you know, everybody was very scared because a nuclear catastrophe was going to happen. Then we had Chernobyl, which was a very stupid experiment, and then the unpredictable, what happened with you in Japan, with the Fukushima power plant. 3 reactors exploded, and a lot of radioactivity leaked out. And then we have many Bulgarians think that, okay, well, we don't have problem with the nuclear waste. We send it to Russia, because for many decades this was the case. Bulgaria was sending the nuclear waste to Russia. Of course, what happens there, like in Mayak or other places where they have the processing plants, they just throw radioactivity back in the nature, which is really catastrophic. But Bulgarians were like, you know, it's far away, and now European Union says you cannot send your nuclear waste anywhere else but where you produce it. So now we need to store in our small country the nuclear waste that we produce. We cannot get it away anymore. We explained that Bulgaria does not need any new nuclear or almost any kind of electricity capacity, because our demand is declining, and we have overcapacity because we don't have so much working industry. Bulgaria is not producing like it was producing in the past, and we have like 11 gigawatts of capacity, but in the best scenario we use only half of it for our internal consumption, even in the coldest winters, and we really heat up and cool up a lot with electricity, which is not good. And finally, we explained that renewable energy is cheaper already than nuclear, and it continues to become cheaper and cheaper. So if we start building a new nuclear power plant, this is going to take at least 10 or 12 years. This is time when the renewables will have developed so much, and the storages and everything, that it just doesn't make economic sense to maintain this nuclear power plant for another 60 years, as they say, if you're going to have so much cheaper and so much cleaner solutions.
Yeah, very good. And is it Green Party? Greens?
This is
Greens.
Yes.
And
this is the logo of the Bulgarian Greens. Zelenite. And this is the logo of the Greens in the European Parliament. Yes. This brochure was supported by them. And we had also other brochures that the non-governmental organizations were printing out, as you see. So we volunteer to hand out these brochures to people. So we made kind of an anti-nuclear coalition in Bulgaria. You know, there are very few people that really realize why nuclear is so bad, and we try to unite now to try to make our voice stronger.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Kentaro.